Alright guys, what's going on? It's Jack and welcome back to another video. So tomorrow at midnight or just early Friday morning, or however you look at it, is a big day. We're finally going to have the launch of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And believe it or not guys, no JD Courage syndrome over here. I'm actually legitimately excited about it. I really am. And the biggest reason why I'm excited, well actually there's two reasons specifically. Number one, the big reason that I'm excited is for that damn prestige system. I really like the fact that there's a grind factor into it, and how pretty much every 50 levels or whatnot, there's that something new to grind for. There's endless levels of prestige master and shit like that. I mean, if you're gonna get maximum level like every single season, or level 1000 every single season, you got to be like the most dedicated grinder in the world. So that's actually pretty exciting, the fact that we're getting rewarded for it as well. And another reason why I'm excited is obviously, you know, if you paid attention to my last video, I basically am just gonna enjoy kind of being a noob again, in a sense, to a certain extent too, where I could just play for the grind and just enjoy the game as opposed to just sweating all the time, regardless of the fact that the game may have all these different things that are implemented for sweats or whatnot, or to sweat. But the thing is, we all have a choice. We have a choice of whether or not to do it. And another reason, which is exactly what the meat and potatoes of this commentary is about, and that is post-launch content. Now, today earlier, Charlie Intel posted, I guess retweeted something that Infinity Ward or Call of Duty or Activision, God knows who, tweeted out in the first place. And I thought it was pretty damn interesting. And right now, we're at a point where we can kind of compare and predict, or just kind of look back at and then predict. Because for some people out there, it's all about the numbers, right? Kind of like the Empire from Star Wars. There's always going to be more TIE fighters than there are X-Wings, right? But at the same time, TIE fighters are a lot easier to bring down, and X-Wings are a little bit more difficult, and they're a little bit more versatile than a TIE fighter or whatnot, right? So for the Rebellion, for instance, they don't rely on numbers. They rely on quality, like the quality of their pilots, their average pilots compared to the average TIE fighter pilot, and maybe the technology that their fighters have. So this is what I'm looking at over here, because I'm looking at these stats, right, that speak pretty much nothing but numbers. And basically it goes like this. Modern Warfare post-launch year in review. 6 post-launch seasons, 19 multiplayer maps, 9 gunfight maps, 5 ground war maps, and this next one is the big one right here, the biggest draw of them all, and that is free-to-play Warzone released during Season 2. And it obviously says big year for Call of Duty, and hashtag Black Ops Cold War incoming in less than 48 hours by the time this tweet was put up. Right now we're basically at 24 hours, maybe slightly more than that. Who knows, maybe slightly less if they go live earlier than that, which they have been known to do by about 3 or 4 hours. But when you look at it, that's quite a lot of content. Now, the big question is, going back to the whole analogy that I made earlier in terms of the Star Wars analogy, TIE Fighter versus X-Wing, or Rebellion versus the Empire, whatever. Some people will think that it's all about numbers and they just want more and more and more, and whichever one has a higher number wins. Or how about the quality of the content? So the interesting thing to me is, obviously right now this is kind of unfair to Treyarch or whatnot, but now the only thing we can predict is that there's going to be 6 post-launch seasons. You know, basically every 2 months we're going to get a new season, and that's pretty much easy to predict. Now, the thing is that there are obviously, just like there are legendary Infinity Ward maps, there's a lot of legendary Treyarch maps as well, going all the way back from Call of Duty World at War to the Black Ops games that we have today. Most of the legendary maps are Call of Duty World at War, Black Ops 1, and Black Ops 2. There's a couple here and there that Black Ops 3 really shined with, but for the most part, a lot of people don't really look at them all that much as quote-unquote legendary maps. I think Combine and Fringe, for specifically, are really good maps. Strongholds is a really good map as well, just to name a few. So when you look at the whole thing, in your humble opinion, I gotta ask you guys, I gotta ask the viewers, even if, let's say, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War at the end of its life cycle has less multiplayer maps, less gunfight maps, less ground war maps, and obviously, I mean, with Warzone, I mean, I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. I mean, they're just gonna make their own version of it, so it's not like they're creating something from scratch. I mean, and by the way, to you zombies fans out there, is zombies just as big as Warzone is to you guys? Does it matter as much? And do you guys think that there are as many Zombies fans as there are Warzone fans? Because quite frankly, Battle Royale seems to be the biggest thing. That's why everybody and their mother is creating video games based off of Battle Royale, because PUBG, I think, started it all, and what was it? Another game I can't think of it right now, but basically there's a couple other games that started it all, and then Fortnite really blew up, and then ever since then, everybody's been copying and pasting Fortnite, but putting their own mix on it or whatnot. So Battle Royale, whether you like it or not, is the thing. So I personally think as big as Zombies is, and as popular as Zombies is within the Call of Duty community, it is a little bit more limited because it's just the Call of Duty community, but at the same time, I could be wrong. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Do you think it's as big? Do you think it's smaller? Or do you think maybe Treyarch might pull a rabbit out of their ass and combine the two? I mean, it's already been done in Warzone as it is right now, very recently. However, Treyarch can either now or in the near future put their own spin on it and come up with a brilliant game mode that basically makes everybody just crap their pants out of excitement, JD Courage style. But the thing is, I think overall, Modern Warfare, in terms of the free-to-play Warzone, still takes the cake overall because they created that from scratch, and pretty much everything else that is going to be implemented, the different flavors that are going to be implemented into Warzone, and the different varying modes of Warzone are still going off of what the original concept of Warzone was, which was created by Infinity Ward. So unless Treyarch does something completely that we're not expecting, and that also happens to be the best hidden secret in all of gaming history, overall, just with Warzone alone, Modern Warfare takes the cake. But like I said in the very beginning, like a few minutes ago, let's say Treyarch had, let's say, 13 multiplayer maps post-launch, and then let's say 7 gunfight maps, and then 4 ground war maps or whatnot. And then, of course, obviously there's going to be Zombies maps as well. So I guess for Treyarch's side, you can replace the Warzone thing along with Zombies, or you can have both to where they add in their own spin on Warzone. They continue to make different game modes based off of that. And of course, they can add in extra Zombies maps, which every single person knows is coming. Zombies fans are going to be pissed, and they're going to shit a chicken if there's not going to be Zombies maps, especially if you're paying attention to Warzone, and if you're paying attention to, you know, traditional multiplayer and gunfight multiplayer. And gunfight is set to make a return. That's been something already. Ground war, of course, is set to return in a different variation, like Dirty Bomb or whatnot. So now, with all these maps that even Thunder himself would love to see World at War maps. I mean, I personally never played World at War. I've only seen footage of it, but the maps seem pretty solid. If they were to bring, like, let's say, I don't know, 3 maps from, like, let's say, that we've never played before, from World at War, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. 3 of those maps that we haven't seen remastered and brought back before, or 4 apiece, let's say, or, you know, just adding in 2 or maybe 3 every season, which we know there's probably going to be 6 because you guys know how that works in terms of money and all that shit. So would you guys be okay with that? Even though the numbers are lower, would you guys be okay with that if the quality of those maps are higher? Because one of the things that we know that so many content creators out there, not just myself, but others as well, bigger content creators, smaller content creators, streamers, Call of Duty shills, and everybody in between, one of their biggest problems with Modern Warfare was the maps. And then there were a couple of other gameplay decisions that also kind of complemented the lacking maps, so to speak, in terms of you know, the decision that they went with it. So if, say, the maps were really good, right? Obviously the ones that we had that are going to be brought back, or a percentage of them that are going to be brought back, as well as new maps that we haven't seen before that they're definitely going to do, because they can't just give us everything recycled, right? Or can they? That would be, I don't know. I don't know how we feel about that. But I think at this point, in terms of what we got with Modern Warfare, as well as some of the maps that we've already seen and played on with the beta and the alpha of Black Ops Cold War, I think we would appreciate the remastered maps right now more than ever, to be quite frank. I mean, if you think about it, it's kind of genius of Activision, of them kind of making us love something that we've already had before as if it was brand spanking new, you know, like you lose something that you love for a while and then all of a sudden you appreciate it and you have it again. So I wouldn't be surprised if they thought this shit up to this extent. You never know, man. Like Thunder once said a while back ago, Activision can sell a cup of drowning, they can sell a cup of water to a drowning, man. I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, man. When it comes to money, they will do everything and anything. So with you guys, now, what do you guys predict? Overall, as we're getting close to the end of this video here, what do you guys predict is going to happen with Black Ops Cold War? Do you guys think we're going to get roughly the same amount of post-launch content? Do you guys think we're going to get roughly a lesser amount, or do you guys think we're going to get more? And of course, the big question is, do you side with the Empire in terms of we just want more, 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 we don't give a fuck what the quality is, or do you side with the Rebellion to where less is more, but the quality is what makes up for it? In other words, we'll have less post-launch content in terms of the amount of maps and gunfight maps and stuff like that, but the maps themselves are so much better and play so much better that it more than makes up for it, as opposed to just, you know, saying that you only played on shipment the entire time or only enjoyed playing on shipment the entire time. And speaking of which, in Modern Warfare, like the gameplay you're seeing in the background right now, I mean, they only had this up for like a week. It was basically 3v3 on gunfight maps, and this was a brand new gunfight map when it was released. It was basically 3v3, but instead of gunfight, you're playing regular game modes like Team Deathmatch, Kill Confirmed, and a couple of other ones. Like, I mean, seriously, that was genius, and that was one thing that kept me coming back, which is one of the reasons why you see this footage in the first place. And then after about a week or so, they got rid of it, and then I was like, forget this shit, I'm out, and I just went back and played a different flavor of Call of Duty. And we know that that's going to happen as well. I mean, they already said in the multiplayer reveal that we are going to have temporary game modes as well. And I think all we can hope and pray for is that Treyarch listens a little bit better than Infinity Ward did, or actually, to put it more realistically, we just need to hope and pray that Activision doesn't butt in as much as they did with Modern Warfare. I like to think that Activision trusts Treyarch a little bit more and gives them more leeway as opposed to Infinity Ward or Sledgehammer Games or whatnot, but I don't know, man. We never know, man, because money runs the show, money influences the show. Otherwise, things like Warzone would not exist. It's all about the money and money first, and as long as Activision is in charge and is the publisher and calls all the shots, we need not forget that as a Call of Duty community when we're trying to apply our logic into every single speculation that we make and every single conversation that we make. It's pretty predictable at this point. But anyway, let me know down in the comments section what you think of the entire thing and what you think is going to happen. And let's just make a prediction, a fun old prediction. And guys, tomorrow's a big day. I hope you guys will find some joy out of it, whether you play campaign, zombies, Warzone, multiplayer, whatever it is. And that's all I got for this one, guys. It's an exciting time to be a Call of Duty player. Let's just make the most out of it. And we know it's going to get better as time goes on with more content, but we can always hope for the best. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Jack, signing off.